Good morning, I'm Sharla McBride, and you're watching PA Harness Week. Well, August is finally here, and that means the racing is hotter than ever. And I'm not just talking about the temperature. We have some of the biggest races of the year coming up, including the Hamiltonian. Take a look. On this week's edition of PA Harness Week, the historic Adios was contested at the Meadows. We've got all the action, plus it's Hamiltonian time. We'll break down the field for the final and show you the Elims for the Hambo Oaks. We'll also take a drive to New York for the Yonkers Trot Final, and I'll introduce you to a harness racing trailblazer. The hottest horsecasters on TV are bringing you racing's fastest paced half hour. It all starts right now on Comcast Sportsnet.
There they go! Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside here is Brent Messenger to the early. 5 and 4 the halftime. Just over 3 to go. At the top of the stretch.
Woo! Yes. Hello and welcome to PA Harness Week. Boy, I'm excited this week. Head there, head there, head there. Guess what? I'm really psyched. Today, it's the day, the big day. It's the ham bone, and I am so psyched. I got my ham, I got my bone, and I am ready to rock and roll. I'm psyched.
Oh, honey, no, it's not the ham bone,
what?
Okay? It's the Hambo. You know, it's short for Hambletonian, so
really?
maybe this will help, okay?
Then I don't...
Get rid of the bone.
Okay.
Then you got your ham, you got your bow.
Got my ham, got the bow. And
yes.
Hambo Day is here.
Yes, it is.
We're just being silly.
We are?
Well, I think we are.
All right, yes. It's Hamiltonian Day at the Meadowlands. The post time is 11:50. It's
yes.
11:50. So, you know, if you're not near the track, at least come out, watch it via simulcast at Mohegan Sun and Pocono Downs, Harris, Philadelphia. But let me tell you a little bit about the Hamiltonian. First of all, it's the second jewel in the trotting Triple Crown, and they're going back to a format they used to have years ago. I think the last time they did this was 1996.
What was that?
When they had heat racing. Yes. So, yeah. That's the usual thing. We're always having to take his temperature. Right?
I don't want to take the heat during the heat racing. I don't need this either. Perpetually silly.
Since 1996, they had been doing the eliminations the week before, and then the horses come back for the final, you know, on Hamiltonian Day. But what they're doing this year is eliminations are same day as the final, but you don't actually have to win 2 races in one day.
What?
Whoever wins the final, whoever gets, does well in the eliminations, and this is how it works. 3 eliminations. Top 3 finishers in each elimination make it to the final, plus the highest money earner that finished 4th ends up making it to the final. Okay?
I feel like I need another prop.
Yeah, I know. Where's our big money? Where's our big money that we usually have, right?
I think I got the winner. I mean, we can go over some horses, some of the top contenders, but I want to tell you who I think is going to be the winner.
Who?
Smilin Eli.
Oh.
There was a whole training controversy. He was out for a month. He came back to the races, finished 4th, and he's going to be on his toes, I think, for the Hambo.
Well, let me tell you who the favorites are. Okay, in the first division of the first elimination, we've got Royalty for Life. He is the 8-5 choice, and right now from Morning Line, Brian Sears is in the bike.
Won the Stanley Dancer?
That's right,
okay.
Yes. Second elimination, we've got Wheelin' and Dealin', Sylvain Filion, coming down from Canada. He's the 2-1 choice in here, and he was last year's 2-year-old trotting champ.
I knew that.
Yes. And then the third elimination, there's Corky. He's the favorite at 2-1, and driving him is David Miller. Remember, he won the Beal Memorial at Mohegan Sun and Pocono Downs.
Yes, he did, and also Highbridge is in there with Yannick Gingras. There's a whole bunch of great horse flesh that is going to be involved in this race today on that great card at the Meadowlands. Not only the Hamiltonian, but the Hambo Oaks, the female counterpart for 3-year-old trotting fillies, the U.S. Pacing Championship. There is so much going on you will not believe. But let's find out what's going to happen today with the Hamiltonian and some of the drivers that will be contesting this memorable heat. Timmy, in a little while from now, you're going to go up behind the gate up behind Smilin Eli. There's a lot of stuff going on with this horse. He hadn't raced for like a month. There were some training issues and whatever. But you got him back, got to tighten her into him recently. How's he looking for the race?
you know, his road to the Hamiltonian got a little screwed up, but, you know, he's working through it, and he did fight a little sickness there. He was in to qualify after he got scratched, and we had to scratch him sick, so that sure didn't help his chances. But, you know, they got him cleaned up, got healthy, and they've trained him a few times. But the other day in his start, I was happy enough with his start, and if he grows from that, and we didn't hurt him from not getting enough work in between, you know, and he finished with the bits in his mouth and locked in. A lot of times horses brave up from that. So, and he's big and strong, and, you know, the 2-8, I should not hurt that horse.
So you know what it's like to win the Hambo. You're the defending champion. You won it last year with market share. How good would it be to come back and repeat?
It'd be great. That's what we work all year for, is that race. It's our premier race for the sport. And, you know, it's $1 million race, and they're hard to get into, let alone, but to participate in it, it's just awesome. It's a great day, and a lot of people there, and it's on live TV, which we don't get very much, and it's going to be awesome.
Safe journey and best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
David, you have one of the morning line favorites in one of the eliminations for the Hambletonian, and it's Corky. How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling good about him. He's been racing well this year, and he drew a good spot, and looks like all systems are go.
I think you're keeping your excitement down a little bit because this is a big chance for you to win the Hambletonian. Like, how cool is that? I want a big smile. There you go. All right. I mean, this is exciting.
Yeah, definitely. He's my best shot I've had since I've been driving in, and you know, he's coming into the race in good shape, and you know, I'm feeling good about his chances.
Thank you, guys. May the best man and horse win. Have a safe journey today. Speaking of big harness horse races, how about this one? The Meadows, named for legendary horseman Del Miller. It is the Adios, $500,000 is on the line, and the lovely Heather Vitale's got that bad boy for you.
Yes, I do. They also call this the pace for the orchids, because after the race they get this beautiful orchid blanket. And anyway, I was going to wear that orchid blanket to the Hambletonian. It was so cool looking.
Do you have your costume picked out for the Hambo, by the way?
I do, but I'm too excited. Wait, let's talk about this race because I'm so excited about the Hamiltonian. Okay, there was a really heavy downpour at the Meadows in the morning that day, so everybody was really worried about the track, but it dried up super nice, and the track was just perfect for this race. So we've got Vegas Vacation, the favorite here, and this horse has been racing super great for trainer Casey Coleman. Then there's Sunfire, Blue Chip, and Lone Wolf Courier. Both of these guys won their eliminations for the Adios, and they're both co-second choice favorites at 5-2.
Yannick Gingras and Sunfire Blue Chip to the front. Beach Memory second. Evening of Pleasure racing third. Some Kind of Beach fourth. Lone Wolf Courier fifth. Vegas Vacation sixth. And treading the field, Word Power. Outside Flows developing. And Some Kind of Beach and Andy Miller gonna be first up, followed by Lone Wolf Courier. The half, 53-4, 27-4. Second panel. Down the backside, Sunfire Blue Chip with the lead. Some Kind of Beach up on the outside second. Beach Memories racing third. Lone Wolf Courier fourth. Racing fifth. Evening of Pleasure. Vegas Vacation to the outside and Word Power inside. 4 in, 3 out, 3 quarters. 1, 21 and 2. Around the final turn, 1/8 of a mile to go in the Adios. Sunfire Blue Chip's gonna bring him into the stretch. Lone Wolf Courier on the outside. Here comes Vegas Vacation. But on the front end, Sunfire Blue Chip has got away from the field. Vegas Vacation with a rush on the outside. Sunfire Blue Chip. Vegas Vacation coming on. But it's Sunfire Blue Chip.
Sunfire Blue Chip got away third, and then he's like, do I want to sit here? No, I don't think I do. So Yannick Gingras pulls that right line, sprints to the front, stays on front, winning in 148-3. This was the first Adios victory for Yannick Gingras, and the second Adios victory for trainer Jimmy Takter. Vegas Vacation was second. Word Power got third. Just a quick note about Vegas Vacation's driver, Brian Sears. All these guys, like after the Adios, are like running to their private planes because they got to get to the Meadowlands and all these other tracks all over the place. Brian Sears.
Got on a stagecoach.
No, not even close. So Brian Sears races at the Meadows that day, 5/8 mile track. Then he flies to the Meadowlands, okay, mile track. Then he drives to Yonkers the same day, half-mile track. One day, 3 different tracks for Brian Sears, 3 different size ovals. So I thought that was really cool.
I'm tired just from hearing his itinerary.
I know, but The driver that we're really focusing on for this race is the winning one, and that's Yannick Gingras. Let's talk to him. Yannick, it was a very exciting race, actually the second fastest Adios in history. Tell me about the race, how it unfolded for you.
It actually worked out perfect, leaving the gate, only 2 of the long shot left out of there. So I got away third, we moved them to the front, and from the moment I moved them to the front, I was really confident in my horse.
Yeah, you look like you were. You were like not going to sit there, and you wanted to just take off. Is that what you and Jimmy then planned in the beginning?
No, I really thought that there'd be more speed from the outside, but you got to be ready for whatever's unfolding in front of you. And those 2 horses from the outside didn't leave, so it made my job a lot easier. I just took advantage of it.
Your first Adios. How's it feel? It's cool, right?
Oh, absolutely. Any of those big races, they have a lot of histories. It's always a lot of fun to win any of them.
Another big race, the Hamiltonian, 3 eliminations, and you've got a horse in 2 different eliminations. Tell me about the horses you have in.
Don't you forget it, and I Bridge. They both like a little bit of trippy horses, but I think they both have a chance. It's a wide open Hamiltonian, and I think they have a good shot as anybody else in the race.
Thank you so much, Yannick. Best of luck today in the Hamiltonian. Stick around, because when we come back, the kids will be in our spotlight. We'll take a look at the Harness Horse Youth Foundation. We'll see the kids driving. It's going to be exciting. All takes place at Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs, so don't go anywhere.
Top of the stretch, and it's a tight battle here.
Tonight, it's race night. $2 million, 3 championship finals. The road to Breeders' Crown continues on Super Stakes Saturday, August 17th at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. Race night is your time to shine.
Hi there, harness racing fans. Hello there, Kim Asabi, and welcome to another adventure. It's called PA Harness Week, along with Heather Vitale. That would be this good-looking woman to my left. I'm Steve Ross, this not-so-good-looking woman to her right.
Yo, you got me yucking it up today.
I'm telling you, I'm in
laughing.
permanent silly mode. Anyway, talking about good stuff, how about this? The kids are going to be in action at the Harness Horse Youth Foundation. Tell us what that is, Heather.
It is this amazing group. It's been around since 1976. Now, this is a nonprofit organization that just gets the next generation interested in harness racing. They do everything from provide scholarships to they make educational items they put all over the country. But one of the coolest things that they do is they have these summer camps, and they go all over the place. I'm talking everywhere from like Illinois, New Jersey, and in Pennsylvania, of course. Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs hosted a summer camp, and these kids learn everything from cleaning stalls to rigging up horses. And what the centerpiece is of the event is they get to go behind the gate on our famous Pennsylvania 5/8 mile oval, and they get to actually race their trotting bred horses, which are kind of like the size of a pony. So this is exciting. I hope you enjoyed this. These were the races.
On the inside is Royal Attire. On the outside, Little Hicktown. Closing there, LR Trixie. Royal Attire and Little Hicktown going to decide this one. It's tight to the line. Royal Attire, Little Hicktown, a photo. It's Royal Attire on the inside, picking up the win. Jandy Toughest Sky on the inside now is CD's Miss M. It's a battle right to the line. It's Jandy's Toughest Sky on the outside for the victory with James Langan on the bike.
Isn't that like a great experience for the kids? And let me tell you what the Harness Horse Youth Foundation does for our sport. You cannot put a price on it. It is such a great group. So if you want to learn more, you just go to hhyf.org.
And it's exciting. And I was out there last summer, hot and everything going on there. And I talked to each and every one of the kids. And oddly enough, not one of those kids mentioned mucking stalls was their favorite part of the whole thing.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Mucking stalls is so much more fun in the wintertime. Okay, I know that for personal experience.
You think?
Yes.
Time now to get to the big boys. Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. Race 10, Sunday. It was a claiming handicap trot, 30 down to 25. Number 1, Quantum Cashman with Jonathan Drury was 2-1. Number 4, Gaslight was 5-2 with Joe Pavia Jr. The rest, as the late great Dan Fogelberg might have said, were all longer. Let's watch.
Gaslight takes him down the backstretch after a well-rated mile, now extends to 3 lengths. At the rail, it's John Wynn. Quantum Cashman ranges up on the outside, third, second, and going after the leader. Up along the inside, Prismatica's going to need more into that fourth spot. Lindy McDreamy has the cover, 3/4, and 124 and 4. Gaslight takes him in the far turn. Smoke and Joe still hangs on to 3. John Wynn at the rail. Quantum Cashman on the outside. Prismatica needs some room as they swing home and turn for the wire. It's Gaslight under a drive by a little more than a length. John Wynn's going to try to take a shot in the deep stretch. They're not going to do it here. It's all Gaslight and Smoke and Joe.
Gaslight took the top and wired, winning a length in 154 flat. Number 7, John Wynn, off at 5-1 with Georgie Knapp, sat in the 2-hole and was second. Number 2, Prismatica, off at 6-1 with Charlie Norris, got third. Incidentally, as a note, the leading driver through the first half of the meet at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs is
Joe Pavia Jr.
Word. Holla. You got that, girlfriend.
One for me.
He's only got 1.5 to go. We will have Joe on the show sometime soon coming up. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, racing here from Harris, Philadelphia.
And there they go. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
When it's your time to shine, what will you do? At Mohegan Sun, wherever tonight takes you, it's your time to shine.
Hello there, harness racing fans, and welcome back to PA Harness Week. She's Heather, I'm Steve, and our Sharla McBride caught up with a lady, somebody you knows a little bit about, who has a long and storied history in the great sport of harness racing, don't you, darling?
Yes, that lady happens to be Susan Looney, and she's my sister, and I am so proud of this woman. Let me tell you, when she was younger, she had her sight on one thing. When I say she was younger, I'm talking about when she was like an infant, okay? She wanted to drive horses, and she is a go-getter. She had one goal in mind, and she does have a really great story, and I'm so glad that Sharla McBride was able to talk to Susan about it.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with Susan Looney, who has a special connection to Heather. You're her sister. We love Heather, and so I know that everyone's going to love you as well. We know that you have a history in this sport. At the age of 16, you started driving, and you became the youngest driver to win at the Meadowlands and at Pocono Downs. What does that accomplishment mean to you?
Actually, it's pretty cool because it's going to go on my tombstone because I was fortunate enough to have such great family support because my family's in the business. I actually started jogging horses when I was probably 8 months, sitting on my grandfather's lap, and then driving in amateur races at the age of 12. So the day I turned 16, I dropped out of high school because I wanted to be a professional harness driver, and that was my goal.
And you did that for many years. And then you decided, you know what, I want to go back to school. Why did you decide to go back to school and then continue your education?
Well, I'd been driving for some years and felt very successful, but was in an accident up at the Meadowlands and just kind of had an epiphany that thought, you know what, maybe I should relook and just have options, because options are always great.
And then what were you able to accomplish? I know you went back to law school eventually as well, correct?
Yes, actually I started at a community college, which I have to promote community colleges because as a high school dropout, I would have never gone to a major university. So I was fortunate to have that opportunity and just continued bachelor's, master's, law degree, doctorate in education, and yesterday I just got promoted to a vice president's position at a community college in Colorado.
That's amazing that you went on to get your doctorate after dropping out of high school. What kind of advice or words of wisdom do you have for people that maybe didn't finish high school and now maybe want to go back?
That is actually one of my high platforms because if you have a dream, you can accomplish it. And there's opportunities out there, and never give up.
I'm sure that harness racing still holds a special place in your heart. What does it mean to you, this sport in general?
I love it. I always have. It's what I always wanted to do, and yes, I changed gears a little bit, but I'm just absolutely amazed and so impressed at how it's grown and the publicity and the great marketing that's been done. I'm really glad for the sport and the people in it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Back to you.
Isn't she just the bomb?
Babery runs clearly in that family.
And everybody makes fun of me because my mother, Joanne Looney King, drove horses. My sister, Susan Looney, drove horses. Me, not so much.
You drive me crazy.
Well,
it's a full-time job. But hold on a second.
And more dangerous than driving horses, I might add.
And the other thing is, everybody knows she's so ensconced in the sport of harness racing, but you never wanted to drive, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I like training horses, and I like being in the background with the barn and everything, and yeah, no driving for me. But anyway.
She's smarter than she looks.
Speaking of driving horses, we're going to drive on over to Harris, Philadelphia. I've got this incredible race for you. Winner's over. The purse is $30,000. Number 7 is Abelard Hanover. Bettor's Choice, good reason. Going into this one, 20 starts this year, 13 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds.
He never loses.
I mean, this horse is incredible this year. Number 5, Bettor's Edge. He's 2-1. Last year he raced in like a lot of stakes competition. 4-year-old now, I think he's in condition races a little bit easier for him. And then number 4 is Blatantly Good. Remember, he was like a household name on our show last year, but he's just starting back his 2013 season, and he's already had like 4 starts this year going into this event.
Hey, come into the home stretch. On the inside, Abelard Hanover is fanning the embers of hope. On the outside is Best Jet Yet. Speaking of fanning, Live On is on the outside. And here's a big scene for Bettor's Edge, who's coming out of the pack. It's Bettor's Edge getting the better of the deal. Bettor's Edge got it.
You may have noticed, not our usual announcer on this day, James, was not announcing, a guest announcer, the absolutely incredible Larry Letterman.
Whoa.
And he is so spectacular. There's just not enough great things to say about Larry. So
he's too quiet, though. We should be a little more vociferous, you know?
So Bettor's Edge, he sets off the first teletimer, but then Abelard Hanover, he'll have none of that. He wants the front, but he has to fight off Best Jet Yet, who comes first up. But Bettor's Edge, he's just like, la-da-da-da-da, I'm going to be in the 2-hole. I'm loving this, and he does, because he's the one that ends up winning in 150-4. And that, my dears, was on a sloppy track.
And we have to say that Abelard Hanover did all the work. It was a monster mile for him.
It was.
Yeah.
And he hung on for second. He raced so super. Best Jet Yet. He also raced really good, and he was a long shot. First up, and he was third.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay with us when we come back. More exciting action from the Meadowlands. We will have the Hambo Oaks Elims coming up, the U.S. Pacing Championship, 2 Elims of that, the best free-for-allers in the world, and also the Yonkers Trot, first jewel of Trotting's Triple Crown. Don't go away.
Here comes Waro Winidi after Golden Receiver.
Tonight it's race night. $2 million, 3 championship finals. The road to Breeders' Crown continues on Super Stakes Saturday, August 17th at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. Race night is your time to shine.
Hello there and welcome back. And we promised you races, big time, great horse races, and we are not going to disappoint. We're going to kick it off Saturday at the Meadowlands, race 6. It was the first U.S. Pacing Championship Elim, and this one shaped up to be a thriller. Number 4, Bolt the Doer with Mark McDonald, the 7-5 chalk. The Ron Burt trained entry of number 2, Hug a Dragon with Jim Morrill Jr. and 2A Sweet Lou with Yannick Gingras, the 9-5 second choice. And the entry of 1, Dynamic Youth with Andrew McCarthy, and 1A, A Rock and Roll Dance with Tim Tetrick, 3-1. Okay, here's the call.
Sweet Lou leads the way. A rock and roll dance rides up to his wheel. He's turning up the heat, applying the pressure on the outside. Boltador is locked in at the rail. The whip on his tail, waiting for some clearance there. Modern Legend is second over on the outside. Dynamic Youth is pinned on the pylons fifth. 3/4 in 122-4. And Sweet Lou leads him at the top of the stretch. A rock and roll dance trying to continue that first over grind. A length and a half away on the outside. Boltador is locked in. Modern Legend there. And Thinking Out Loud is gaining ground on the far outside. It's Sweet Lou as they head down to the finish.
Sweet Lou got parked in a 55 half before clearing, won it a length in 149-1. That boy is in great shape right now. Bolt the Doer was a game second. A Rock and Roll Dance came first up and also was a game third.
Okay, I have the next elimination. $50,000 is the purse. Number 5, Pet Rock. He's the favorite. He has been so good lately. He's coming off a lifetime mark of 147. And then number 2 is a Warari Needy, beaten favorite last time out in the Hout Memorial, but he really had a rough trip. So I'm not going to hold that against him. You know that he was the beaten favorite in that. Number 1's Spoiled Again. How do you have foiled again in a race and not mention him, okay? The horse is the richest pacer ever, and he just went over $5 million in earnings.
Golden Receiver trying to raid along in the lead, but he can't now because Pet Rock is right at his throat and coming on the outside, and these two are stride for stride. Hurricane King Cole looms the danger. He's perfectly positioned. Wara We Needy will need to shake free. He's jammed in heavy traffic, foiled again, buried as well. 3/4 and 121 and 3. They come to the top of the stretch. Pet Rock is getting up on the outside. Golden Receiver trying to fight back to him. Wara We Needy is waiting for clearance there, trying to angle in tight quarters with Hurricane King Cole. Fred and Ginger and foiled again on the outside. Golden Receiver battles back. Here comes Wara We Needy. Wara We Needy after Golden Receiver. It'll come down to these two. Photo finish.
Golden Receiver leaves like a rocket, and then Pet Rock comes first up. Now you've got these two incredible pacers like battling head to head. And I'm just like, God, I love these horses so much. So coming down the stretch, you think Golden Receiver's beat, don't you? Yeah. And I'm telling you, it's like the horse swells up and he knows he's got to get this one. And he's unbelievable. He just digs in. Unfortunately, Wara We Needy got a super trip. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Unfortunately for Golden Receiver, okay? Wara We Needy got a killer trip. He gets up by 8 nose, 148 and 2. Golden Receiver was second. Foiled again was third.
He did everything but win. Monster mile, hats off to Golden Receiver. Okay, the Hamiltonian Oaks, race 2, okay? This is good stuff. The story of this race was clearly, number 1, be a magician, who everybody talks about. Should have been in against the boys, the Hambo, but his connections kept him with the girls in the Oaks. With Brian Sears went off as the prohibitive 1-9 chalk, and he made that look like a bargain basement price. The nifty Norman Trotting Machine won by 2 in 153 and 3. Number 4, Ma Chérie Hall, off at 17-1 with Corey Callahan was second best. Number 5, Frau Brucher, a high-class Chris Oakes trained trotter, off at 4-1 with Jim Morrill Jr. Got a perfect 2-hole trip and still couldn't get a sniff of Be a Magician. How good is this steed?
Now the second elimination for the Hamiltonian Oaks, and here number 4 is To Dream On, who was voted last year's 2-year-old divisional trotting champ for the fillies. Number 7, Classic Maritime, has not hit the board in any of her starts, has not missed the board in any of her starts this season. Number 6, Mystery Woman, racing for the red hot Jonas Zernissen stable, who became even hotter when this filly crossed the wire, bringing home another win to Jonas's resume, and this one in 153 flat. In the sulky was David Miller. Classic Maritime was second. To Dream On was third.
Okay, time now to look at the $450,000 Yonkers Trot Final. It was a goodie. It was the first jewel of Trotting's Triple Crown. Number 4, the Simple Mind Steed. Don't you forget about it. It was 3-5 with Brian Sears, but broke at the start and again at the quarter. Number 2, Dewey Color in the line, off at 7-1 with Ray Schnitker. Wired by 2 in 157 and 3. FICO was 6-1 shot with George Brennan, got second. Number 7, Lauderdale, a 25-1 bomber with Brett Holland, got third. And that's going to do it for us. A really, really big day here at PA Harness Week, and for all of us here, including Bruce Casella, Kelly Connors, Sharla McBride, and my partner Heather Vitale. I'm Steve Ross reminding you to pick up the pace and get high on harness.
It's only natural.
There they go. Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside, Eric Messenger.